Are we live?
Hopefully.
Am I just achieving my goal of having at least 50% of these videos that I feature in start with me kissing a chicken's head?
I think that's a good plan.
Yes, I think so as well. We'll let our regular folks kind of tune in here for us. Hello, for those of you who have joined us already. We are very excited. Come here, I want more chickens. I think I honestly deserve more chickens in my lap at any given time. What do we think? More lap chickens? Collectively, better if there are more chickens on the lap. They disagree entirely.
No.
I've lost all of my lap chickens now. But Winter, have you considered that you're perfect? We are actually supposed to be hanging out mostly with the turkeys in here right now. Imogen is in the barn. She will take her sweet, sweet time to come on over. But I have faith that she's going to show up because, she can't handle when things are not featuring her when we're in here with her. So we are doing a segment today where we will be talking about how the animals on farms get to the farm. Lauren is actually pointing out that some of our chickens over here are doing something cute, so we'll watch them in their dust baths while I chit-chat away. So can we see everyone all right?
Yeah.
Are you going to shake out that dirt right in my face?
Probably.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Real quick, do you want to tell the people what a dust bath is, just in case they aren't familiar?
Yes, so if you are not familiar, a dust bath is just you could take it anywhere that there is dust and dirt, but they'll get all of the dirt right on in their feathers, and then slowly groom and preen it out. And it will take out all of the grime. I don't like being downwind from her kicking up all that dust, though. Ooh. Are we just featuring her here?
Yeah.
We had okay.
We caught that nice fluff.
Somehow I'm still downwind from all of that. But the reason that we are doing a segment today talking about how our farmed animal friends get to the farms they end up on is because we're looking and doing a little bit of a deeper dive into some of the areas of animal agriculture and animal rescue needs that we don't often talk about, see, or hear about. And we wanted to add some sort of bonus content because we are doing a special month-long pledge that started on October 1st, but it is by no means too late to sign up. Petunia's Pledge. Hello, Samira. Samira, you have one of the best combs at the whole sanctuary, I have to say.
What?
Yes. She's just always such a pristine little hen. Right? Yeah. Yes. And you don't get pristine by not ever preening, right? Yeah. Very important business that she's doing here. So Petunia's Pledge started on October 1st, which was World Vegetarian Day, and it will end on November 1st, which is World Vegan Day. And so all month long, we are here to support you. If you take this pledge, and we strongly encourage you to, no matter where you are on your journey, we are providing support for our pledge takers in transitioning from vegetarian to vegan, but also from anything to vegan, or if you're already vegan, just some support and joining us in this pledge month just to celebrate the work that we do here at Catskill Animal Sanctuary. I've lost all my friends. Bye, Samira. Hopefully Imogen will come out in a bit.
She's a busy lady.
Yes,
That's
she has things
do.
to do. That's fine. That's totally acceptable. So, with Petunia's Pledge, we have all sorts of fun stuff that we are doing with it, and we have a Facebook group that you are able to join. You will get discounts on our merch and our cookbook. You get some bonus material, a PDF with recipes, and some bonus virtual sanctuary content by Lauren and myself. And I and you'll get to join a Facebook group and get some support from other folks who are taking the pledge along with you. So we would love it if you'd share the pledge and take it now. And if we have any questions, by the way, that you want to have us answer about farms and breeding farms in today's segment, ask away, and we'll see which ones we can get to during the segment. And also want to give a special shout out to we've got so many announcements today, but I swear we're going to get to the good stuff soon. Give a shout out to the companies that are supporting our Petunias Pledge. So we have Vegan Wines, Riverdale, VegCo, and Treeline Cheese. And they are supporting this month's Petunias Pledge as well. And most importantly, I feel like since March, Lauren, do you think it's been since March, that we've been getting one very commonly themed question? What question is that, Lauren?
Oh, when can people come and visit?
Yes. So, we actually are doing a very limited reopening for October. Currently, pretty much just for October and November 1st. On Sundays for members. So, our members have gotten a special invite to take some free tours with us. You have to sign up in advance, and we still got to make sure that you are all good and COVID-free. But we are excited to be able to welcome some folks here in person. If you are interested, if you are a member and you are interested in coming on Sunday, this Sunday or any Sunday in October, we're going to link the sign-up for your tickets registration link below. I'm having a hard time finding my words today. Sorry about that. And here she comes. She's got her head up. She's doing her I'm ready for my hug posturing. Come here.
Yes, Janine and Sherry, we already know we'll be seeing you one of those days.
We saw you sign up like 20 minutes after that email went out, Janine and Sherry.
And if folks are not members, can they sign up?
And if you are not yet a member and you are interested in coming, you are absolutely welcome to sign up for your membership. It is not too late, and you can then sign up for our tours. So we're going to link to where you can register to become a member for as low as $40 a year to be able to come and visit us. Our spots are limited, so we encourage you, if you're thinking about doing this, to sign up as soon as possible. And we can't wait to see a bunch of you here this month. I think I've gotten all of my announcements more or less out of the way. So, let's get into the good stuff. Have we had any questions yet so far, Lauren?
We have not. Just some smiles and excitement about folks being able to come and visit.
Yes.
And you can give Imogen perhaps a hug of your own too. She'll be excited to see people.
Yes, she's a big hugger of all. She does not have to know you to like you. By any means. Lauren and I are not particularly special in regards to Imogen's love, because she has just such a big heart. It expands to everyone. Of course, we're special in our own way, right, Lauren?
Oh, yes, of course.
But yeah, Imogen just likes everybody, to be honest. And it's a good trait of you. It really is. So we talk a little bit when... Where are my words today, Lauren? You may end up having to help me out here.
I assume your words are in your head.
Thank you. So,
Anytime.
Imogen here is a turkey who most likely came from a relatively small turkey farm. Are you going to step on me to walk away? I'm just fully... Is it because I wasn't petting you?
I mean, that is really mean.
I'm just losing my friend. Imogen here showed up along with Malika in a transport crate at the end of August 2015 when she was about 16 or so weeks old. Um, so at 16 weeks old, she was most likely in that transport crate because she was being sent to be killed. She had grown large enough that she was going to be at the ideal profitability at that age. She was going to have eaten as little food as possible to be as big as possible, and as profitable as possible. And Imogen, goodbye. Thank you all for cooperating with me on today's virtual sanctuary. Imogen,
Do you want to follow her?
we should.
Let's go follow her. Malika, by the way, is the other turkey here, and she is currently molting. So she looks kind of sad right now, and she's a little bit cranky. But that's a totally normal thing the birds do. They shed their feathers and grow new ones to get ready for the winter. So that's why she, a little bit of a hot mess right now. And she's cranky, so we'll leave her alone.
So, Imogen, she was likely rescued from relatively nearby because she was left in our driveway in the middle of the night. So we suspected she hadn't come from necessarily across the country. And there aren't that many large breeding farms, that many large turkey farms in this area. There are, however, a lot of smaller farms. And so what most likely happened, and we're going to settle down right here. What most likely happened was that she was semi-local. Are you just going to totally walk away from me? Yeah, that's cool.
Maybe if you offer her a snack.
We don't have any good snacks, though. This is the problem. The chickens. Okay. Well, that's fine. We're going to be talking about chickens, too. But Imogen likely was raised on a small local farm. And she was still debeaked and had her toes cut off. She lost basically this whole joint on all of her toes because they were following standard turkey raising practices. So this happens on small farms, on large farms. It really doesn't have a ton of variations. She's still the kind of turkey that we would see on large farms. And she is a kind of turkey that actually can't really properly reproduce their own breed. So even if Imogen were to have turkey babies with a turkey just like her, they wouldn't come out quite like Imogen. Turkeys who are raised on farms in the U.S., the majority of these broad-breasted white turkeys that we see tend to be crossbreeds. These chickens are sweet little Colorado babies. They did come from a large industrial farm where there were 36,000 of them on one farm in 3 different barns total. So that's 12,000 a barn. They are called Cornish cross chickens. They are a crossbreed of chicken. And then our friend Petunia herself, who Petunia's Pledge is named after. Again, we've got a link to Petunia's Pledge in the comments below, so you can see her cute little face and know what I'm talking about when I call her a red star chicken, or a red sex-linked chicken. She is a crossbreed of chicken. This means that they're not true breeds of turkeys, of chickens here. So they are actually the offspring of parents who are separate breeds. And they have to be bred on farms that are not raising these breeds of chickens. So most small farms and large farms will get their birds that they're raising to be killed and eaten from hatcheries, which get their eggs from breeding farms, which get their breeding stock from hatcheries. So we go through just to bring one sweet little bird to a farm. Her sort of life story starts at 4 separate farms ago, essentially. So there's this really convoluted process, and we tend to lose the 3 farms that are at the start of that whole story. Lauren's heart is currently being ripped out by Christopher, who's buying behind me. I'm correct in that being Christopher, right?
That is
Because I know
Christopher.
his voice. Yeah.
I'm just keeping going. Hey, buddy. What's wrong?
Christopher, who's been torturing you?
Are you looking?
Is lunch late?
He might be looking for his friends. I'll come say hi to you later, sweetheart, okay? We're busy right now. I'm sorry.
In all fairness, lunch may also be late for him.
Well, that is definitely the worst possible thing that can happen. And extremely unfair. And I'd probably be yelling too if it was me.
I mean, I definitely get cranky when my lunch is being delayed. I know I just kind of yammered off a very long sort of line of how these chickens and turkeys get to the farms that they're raised on. Did we have any questions come in about that, Lauren?
Well, one question was just to clarify. So, like, if you see, like, a farm where animals like these are being raised, none of those animals were actually born at that place.
We can all get along, friends. Especially when we are featuring in a show.
But yes, that's right, though, right? Just to
Yes,
clarify,
I'm
that is
sorry.
correct.
To answer the question before the chicken drama that just went down, pecking order being a very real dynamic, yes. The farms where we see chickens and turkeys being raised for their flesh, where it is not a glorified hoarding operation, where people are not intentionally breeding them and then just having things turn into chaos, but where they are intentionally trying to reap a profit as farmers. It is 99% of the time. It is 99% of the time the case that those chickens and turkeys were not born on that farm. They arrived on that farm when they are a day to a couple of days old, from the hatchery where they were hatched. And that hatchery could be, you could be on the East Coast. That hatchery is probably in the center of the country. So the vast majority of the hatcheries that we're seeing birds come from do tend to come from like sort of middle America. So these are long transportation times to get to where they are ultimately ending up as well. And they are going through this long transport in their first hours to day of life. Usually they have not been fed yet, and they are also not shipped with any water. So they are put under a tremendous strain. And we've talked a little bit about this, if you're interested. We've talked a little bit about the chicks who are sent to backyard chicken keepers when they are just a couple days old through just the standard U.S. Post Office or U.S. Postal Service. So they are quite literally babies mailed. I used to joke as a kid that I just wanted a kitten subscription service where, you know, you would open your mailbox and there'd be kittens in there once a month and you'd get to foster them and then send them back. That was mostly a joke because I just wanted a steady supply of chickens, and I could not fathom that we would actually ever be sending live animals through the mail, but this is actually very, very standard practice here in the U.S. And so, yeah, they are arriving at farms at a couple of days old, no matter what kind of farm we are talking about, unfortunately. Any other questions yet?
Well,
so far?
I have a question that I'm wondering. Is it similar for like mammals? Like if there's a pig farm, are those pigs also like born somewhere else and then transported?
It is not 100% the same. So with mammals, there are some farms, I think we see more farms, where the animals are being born, especially with the smaller farm models, animals are being bred and born on those farms. Um, it is not always the case. There are absolutely breeding farms for pigs. There are absolutely sort of breeding farms for dairy cows, um, but it's not as ubiquitous. Um, However, with pig breeds, we see it more often because they are also not true breeds, the ones who are being raised for their flesh at this point. And so you're bringing together two different breeds of pigs um, in order to, in order to, ouch, make the pigs who are raised for their flesh. However, pigs and cows, do we know? Does anyone know the answer to whether or not male and female pigs and cows ever see one another?
Male and female pigs and cows see each other. We'll give folks a chance to answer, and then meanwhile we have two questions. The chicken who's making the noise, which is Ohana, was she the one sneezing during last night's VIP event? We don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I am not sure. But Ohana is getting checked out.
Yeah.
She is definitely a little more groany today. I don't know who was sneezing.
And then Janine has a question. She says, so this is confusing. And it is a little confusing, Janine. You are right. I feel like we need a flow chart or something to track
I should have made a flow chart, yes. Ouch.
So the hatchery gets the eggs from breeding farms, and the breeding farm just has chickens that are just for the purpose of laying the eggs.
Not just for the purpose of laying the eggs, because what do those eggs need to be, Janine? Ouch!
Oh, the debate. That's what Heather meant, the debate. That's what it was. About sneezing during the, the debate. Oh, I get it now, Heather. I'm sorry. I didn't read things right. It was a joke. Okay, Heather. I'm sorry. We were confused.
Okay.
Are you getting picked on, Kaden?
I am 100% getting pecked.
Oh my gosh.
Did Janine answer what we need those eggs to be if they're coming from a breeding farm? They need to be a little bit different than the eggs that we see from egg farms. So egg farm eggs will never turn into a chicken. But the breeding farm eggs have to be able to turn into a chicken. So there also have to be roosters as well as hens there. About 15% of the birds on breeding farms for chickens are roosters. Eventually killed down to 10% of them as they age. So that tends to be somewhere between 6 and 10 million or so roosters on breeding farms, and about just over 52 million hens on breeding farms. So we're not talking small numbers either, but all of those chickens are responsible for creating the 9 billion chickens who are raised for their flesh every year in the U.S. And then there are about a little over 6 million turkeys likely on breeding farms responsible for creating the nearly 300 million turkeys who are raised each year in the U.S. for their flesh specifically. So yes, so the start of the cycle is hatchery to hatch out the chickens who will be used to be bred. So those are two different breeds for each crossbreed that you're trying to make. Those little babies will go to a breeding farm. They will be raised in one shed, moved to another when they're old enough to have fertilized eggs. Then their eggs will be sent back to a hatchery, and then that hatchery will ship the chicks all around the country. To backyards, to small farms, to large farms, to local farms, to factory farms, to, cage-free farms, to free-range farms, to absolute farms that have absolute confinement. So really, these hatcheries are supplying pretty much everyone. To put that simply.
And I think something that might help clarify too is that to remember, like, if it's an egg farm where then the eggs are collected to sell to people, those are unfertilized. So like there's no roosters involved in that. But yes, they do have to be fertilized to actually produce chickens out of them.
Yes. Yes. So there are no roosters on the farms where the chickens are being kept for their eggs that are going to be consumed by humans. Those roosters never left the hatchery stage 3. Unfortunately. So those are the roosters who we often hear about being killed as soon as they hatch out, because the hatcheries are like, the egg farms don't need these guys. We're going to grind them up or gas them, and we're going to mail out the day-old hen babies to these egg farms. So there's this really, really long cycle, unfortunately, where birds like Imogen's parents, birds like Ohana, I'm sorry, startled her. Birds like Ohana's parents are being kept for not the 6 weeks that Ohana would have been allowed to live, not the 16 weeks that Imogen would have been allowed to live, but closer to about a year. And they're breeding for about half of that year before they are so worn out from the conditions that they live in that they are then, unfortunately, killed. And Imogen's parents never would have seen each other either, because Imogen's parents would not be able to mate on their own. They would be so big. Her father may have reached 70 pounds before he was killed. They would be so big because they are bred to create a massive turkey who is massive by the time she is a 4-month-old baby. That their bodies just will not allow them to mate in a natural way for turkeys. And that ultimately means that there is a human intervening in each step of that process. So they would be artificially inseminated, which has to, of course, be collected from the male turkeys. So collection happens about once a week, and the artificial insemination will happen about once a week for these turkeys on these farms. So constant human intervention in their lives, a lot of rough handling, a lot of just a deprivation of their ability to be normal, happy, healthy turkeys. All for ultimately what specifically? Also that we might be able to eat someone like Imogen. Can you believe that? I know. And here Imogen is, 5 years old. Pretty healthy. She's getting a little bit older, for sure. But she is pretty healthy. And she is enjoying the sunlight on her back. She enjoys belly scratches and cuddles, hugs from our visitors. Again, if you want to visit on Sundays in October, check out our membership tours in the comments below as well. But she has the chance to live the life that we wish all of her siblings and her parents could have lived. And we are not missing anything in our lives by not eating Imogen. Lauren and I still eat some pretty good food. You know, I'll admit I have lazy cooking nights. But we still eat flavorful, delicious food, a variety of wonderful textures. It is not boring for us to eat vegan. And it is so rewarding to know that we have the chance to provide her a safe home, a loving home, and to help create a world that is a better place for animals, for the humans who we all have to share this planet with them, and by choosing to leave animal agriculture sort of out of the equation as well, we can have a positive impact on the environment, since animal agriculture tends to pollute the environments near the farms pretty acutely, affecting human health acutely for the people who live in those areas, but also greatly, greatly impacting climate change as well. We can live a wonderful, beautiful, healthy, abundant life without having to involve ourselves in these breeding farms, without having to involve ourselves in eating animals or the eggs that they make, the milk that they make. I know I'm running a little bit over time. I want to thank you for sticking through a fairly confusing introduction to just how messy and complicated it gets when we start talking about where farmed animals are truly coming from, and why even smaller farms are involved in really quite big agribusiness. Were there any other questions in the comments before I wrap up and give our closing thoughts?
Yes, and then I also have a question.
Yes.
So a question about eggs, that sometimes there's like that little red spot inside of an egg. What's that?
Oh, gosh. I actually forget. I have looked it up before, but I am forgetting right now. So I'm sorry, I cannot answer that question. Lauren might be Googling it. What's the other question?
The other question is, can I tell a joke? Because I feel like today's episode was a little bit heavy, and I feel like the people might appreciate a joke.
Yes.
Okay. And I've told it before as part of our live programs, and I haven't told it for a while though. So I figure.
Is it? Why did the chicken cross the road?
It's
it
relates to that.
Why did the tofu cross the road?
Yes, because folks at home, I'm sure you're familiar with the question, like the joke of like, why did the chicken cross the road? Caden, why did the chicken cross the road?
Because no, I got my punchlines mixed up.
All right,
that was a different one. The tofu crossed the road.
No. Why does the chicken cross the road?
Wait, why does it? To get to the other side.
It's very funny. Okay. No, it's not funny? Caden's not impressed. Okay. Okay, but the funny part is, why did the tofu cross the road?
To prove that it was just as good as the chicken.
Is that a good joke, Caden?
It's a really foul joke.
It is a foul joke.
Nothing like a little forced humor to wrap this up. Lauren is still looking up why there's that red spot.
It's just a little blood spot. It's not really anything.
Okay.
That all eggs have blood vessels in them.
This is true.
Yes, so it's just a little spot. Oh, and Veronica also just popped it in the chat for us as well. Thank you, Veronica.
Wonderful.
This is what happens when we don't know things. We look them up, because Caden and I might know a lot of things, but we don't know all the things.
But at least you know we're being honest when we don't know the things.
Yes, we're not going to lie to you if we don't know the things.
And in summary, if you want to have more bad jokes, more time connecting with the animals, and a nice private experience with us, you have actually kind of two options right now. You can book your CAS live. We'll leave a link for that in the comments, because we do our private virtual tours. You could schedule some time to come and join one of our free member tours that are happening on Sundays in October, as well as on November 1st. If you're not already a member, you can sign up to become a member. And we'd love
to reserve a spot for those.
You absolutely do have to reserve a spot. You have to be coming from a state where you do not need to quarantine if coming into New York State, of course. But we know that many of you are from the area, and we would love to see you here. And then, additionally, you can sign up for Petunia's Pledge and catch, actually, Chef Linda in the Facebook group is going to be doing a special live stream for our Petunia's Pledge pals tomorrow at 1 p.m. And then Lauren will be joining a little bit later in the month to do a bonus virtual sanctuary there, all about cow's milk. And maybe goat's milk, just dairy in general. Yes, so thank you so much for sticking through a longer virtual sanctuary today. I hope that you are all having a wonderful Thursday afternoon. I hope it's it's Thursday. Yes, it is. And we will see you here next Tuesday at 1 p.m. Stay safe, stay healthy, and keep on spreading the love, everyone. Bye.